Hey there everyone, Michael here with the latest episode of Starbeam.one, Stand-Up and Shine and Shill. It's a series I put together to keep people up to date with my project, Starbeam.one. The show is modeled after the agile methodology of a stand-up, where you tell your teammates what you're working on, what you're going to be working on, and any sort of friction points that you are encountering. And I've added so much more. Let's begin. Alright, hopefully it's a little short and sweet this week. Not a lot going on. It's very slow, actually. And I'm not complaining too much about that because we are moving into version 1, but also it's the holidays, right? I just cannot believe that it's already the end of 2023, moving on to 2024, and Christmas is next week, and then after that, it's New Year's. It's crazy. It's really just difficult to accept, but it's here, and you deal with it, sort of thing. So, so moving on to version 1, that's the next step here, and I'll talk about that here in the next few slides, and really what that involves is solution prep, and we'll talk about that next-ish. Okay, talking a little bit about the solution prep-ish on this slide and next slide, because it's all I've been doing, getting ready for version 1. As I mentioned in the last stand-up, beta 3, which is what is currently announced, is actually version 1. I should have called it version 1, but I didn't think about that until 2 days prior to beta 3, and so I'm really happy with the version that we have deployed now, which is called beta 3, but is actually version 1, and we're looking to get everything adjusted to the point that I can call it version 1, hopefully in 2 weeks here. And so what that involves is solution prep, or preparation of the solution to do that. And so the reason why we're doing that is that I started looking into vNext with a solution to make it easier to work with, and I realized that I can make a lot of these adjustments and improvements to the solution and also deploy it for version 1 in case we need bug fixes or whatnot. So yeah, it's mostly a morale thing, because working with a lot of the projects right now is really challenging, and also there's a lot of code, right? And so there's a heavy feeling to it, and I'm really looking to reduce that heavy feeling. And also, when we deploy to Azure right now, there's 7 applications that have to be built and deployed, and that turns out it takes a lot. Each and every application you have to deploy takes a long time to build, to zip, and to deploy it to the Azure app service. And so I'm really wanting to improve that. So what I've been doing here is analyzing that and seeing on how that I can improve it. So I've taken the number of applications we'll be deploying, building, zipping, and deploying to app service from 7 to 3. And that will be a great reduction, because it's not only just the building of these applications, but it's also the runtime of that. So each and every time that an application has to initialize, it takes some time. And so, yeah, there's some improvements that are due to what I know now versus what I knew 4 years ago. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. And also rounding out the slide here is that each and every day, it just seems like something else pops up as a bug, or a reported exception. No one's actually reporting them. It's just that I see them in the logs and whatnot. And so I've been having to fix something each and every day. So quality fixes is still an ongoing task. All right, so what am I doing? Getting back to solution preparation. Solution prep, the technical term of that, is I'm kind of looking at these tasks here, and they're not very detailed. It's just, you can see I'm also calling it vNext, which also introduces a new problem of mine. There's always a new problem in my world. How are we going to be approaching versions? Because we were doing alphas and betas every 2 months. Are we going to be able to do these new versions every 2 months? Maybe. I kind of like having that, even though I don't really stick to it as religiously as maybe a typical agile or waterfall project does. But I'm going to try to do it every 2 months here, but I don't know when, it won't be done. So what do we call it? Yet another problem I'll be thinking of. But as you can see, under vNext features, we have solution prep, which is what I'm working on now. And it's all these different ways of improving the solution so it's easier to work with, and I don't lose my mind, which is kind of an important thing for me. Like, when I open up a solution right now, it feels really heavy. There's just so many projects and so much code, and there just must be a better way of organizing that and making it easier to work with. And so that's what I'm investigating, and we'll be consolidating a lot of projects and also making it easier for deployment, and making it not only easier but faster too. So it's not just faster with coding and just the everyday experience, but also getting it deployed to app service and making it easier there. So solution prep is that, and then it's on to subscriptions, right? This is kind of what we were talking about. It's the next publication and publishing model that we're going to be working on, and that's kind of like the big ticket item for this next version, and that's next, whatever that is. Okay, friction points, my favorite part of the episode, where I talk about and mostly complain about things, but you'll see here to start off with no Twitter. Twitter fixed their problem. So we are, for the first time in a long time, Twitter has no outstanding issue with us, and everything works as expected, finally, right? So that took forever. That took, for one reason or another, you know, we had accounts that were being banned, and we had our account that couldn't have advertisements because they thought that we were NFTs, and we are not NFTs. But that's all done with, and we're A-okay with Twitter. So there's actually nothing else outstanding except for the issues from Microsoft. And these, it sounds like I have outcoded Microsoft. I'm sad to say that this is kind of how I'm looking at it. It's just, there's nothing to be done with these issues, and they haven't even started at looking at them. And there is already one mention, you know, I keep finding these issues with my code base, and, you know, there's one that I reported 2 years ago, and they chimed back in, hey, is it any better? Nope, it's actually worse. I reported it at 45 seconds. Now it's taking 2.5 minutes. And now they're like, oh, we found a bug where we're recompiling every single file for each and every change that's detected. Which seems kind of obvious, right? You think something like that would be detected in an earlier test build on their side, but hey, you know, they're not using my solution like I requested, or in fact that they requested, and I provided them, so, you know, what can I say? So anyways, there's things like that, and also there was a mention that maybe these issues that are outstanding for my solution will not get attended to for 2 major versions, which sounds like 2 years from now, right? So it's like, okay, so now I gotta, like, you know, do I keep these issues up here? It doesn't sound like it's gonna get attended to at all. So, you know, good news is that I'm kind of used to these now, and it's not so bad, but still, it's like, you wish you would be able to get to it sooner. So anyways, you know, it's a holiday season too. I'm not trying to be such a nag or a complainer about things, so, you know, we'll let it slide until next year. Okay, moving on to effectiveness levels, talking about different emotional qualities of the project and how they make me feel. And as I like to say, if we talked about our feelings, the world would be a better place in general. And so I try to do that here with these effectiveness levels. And starting out with morale, and I will say I've been really lazy with these. I looked at all these numbers, and I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. I don't want to like sit there and fidget the numbers. But 7.5 is kind of where it was last time, and that's how I continue to feel about things. Schedule kind of in the same place, you know, I'm just not hitting my target still, so it's not fantastic, but not bad either. I'm just kind of just trying to get as much done as possible. Technology, again, those 3 outstanding issues from Microsoft, and it's sort of like that meme where the guy asks you, but did you die, sort of thing. And it's like, that's what I keep asking myself. Like, all right, well, these are kind of annoying, but I'm able to code, and I'm actually able to publish things, but you know, it's not too bad. It would be nice to get that back up to 9.5, maybe even 10, which actually, by all accounts, it really is. It's really great, but still, you know, press a key and it takes 90 seconds for the CPU to die down with 10, 20, 25, 35% CPU utilization. It's like, okay, that could improve a little bit. But anyways, overall, overall it's 8. Marketing, kind of a quiet time, not really doing any marketing, but I'm feeling a little bit more confident about Twitter and how it works than I did a year ago, so there is that. Support, not a lot of that either. Whenever there is a question or I'm talking with someone in a DM, I'm feeling really good about that, so that continues to be 8.5. Okay, keeping it really short and sweet. I actually got 10 minutes this time. I'm under 10 minutes. That's kind of a new record for me. I haven't been here for a while, but there really isn't a lot going on. I'm really getting ready for vNext, and I don't know if that's going to be V1.1 or V1.5 or V2.0, who knows? Stay tuned and find out, right? So, but yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone out there. Happy holidays, and you know, thank you for all of your support and activity. We do have it, we still do have artists producing products, and we still do have people buying them, so collectors purchasing them. So our average volume right now is about 10 flares or $10 per day of volume, so there's still activity there, and there's still a lot to be thankful for. So thank you to everyone out there, and until next time, stay safe and stay bright, and that is until next year. Okay, see you then. Goodbye.